Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd. It's the 3rd of May 2012 and we've got some new pictures, maybe a couple of old ones tossed in. Let's see what we got. Okay, that's high on a mountaintop in South Fayetteville, development site. These flowers could be gone depending on how the development's done, and we hope it'll be done carefully as possible. You saw one of those recently and they were in full bloom and now they're past it. This is one you haven't seen yet this year, and this is the Asclepias, it's the blunt leaf milkweed, or the curly leaf milkweed, and it's been in full bloom. That's on a very dry, high and dry site, and they do okay there. Actually do well. They like well-drained sites, not necessarily well-drained sites when it doesn't rain for a long time, and that's what's gone on. So there have been some in bloom and they're past bloom, and you're looking north to the university, and that's basically at the end of what has been called till now Paris Avenue. And Paris Avenue, according to City Council, on the second or first night of May 2012, Council voted to call this avenue, Paris Avenue, part of Stadium Drive, so that you go down Stadium Drive from the football stadium and you eventually end up, without changing streets actually, Garland Avenue, and then, now let's mention that's a good thistle. If you see a thistle with a white backed leaf, don't destroy it. They're very important for the butterflies and birds, and they do no harm. Now there's a horrible one maybe in the same group or whatever, and it's got green bottom of the leaf, so you can tell that difference. Okay, we're looking at several native wildflowers growing, and they're mixed up, and I'm not going to try to name them all. I'm just documenting them so that you'll know that's what was there. You may see nothing but pavement. We hope the developer's going to get the save part of this area. So it's posted it off, but they hadn't started bulldozing yet. So, and that one I can't. So most of these I can name. I can't tell you what that is, and so just watch for it anywhere you're out, on a prairie or on a glade. They say that means shallow soil and rock showing. And there's the horrible, horrible thistle. It's still valuable to the wildlife, but it's one that the farmers don't like, and it's not a native, so you can get rid of it if you like. This is out on Pinnacle Prairie, again, which is downhill from that dry site, and this is an area with reeds and rushes, and you can try to get some close-up photos of some of those tiny flowers while they're in bloom. This is a really wet area of wet prairie, and so that may be Frank's sedge is the name I think applies to that particular species, and just a big mix of sedge and rushes and reeds out there. Not as many cattails as there used to be, because some limestone gravel runoff has affected the area where so many beautiful cattails were. And cattails are very valuable for wildlife. So if you've got some in a ditch or something near your house, or a creek bank, or a little flooded area, easily flooded area, protect them. This is about a 36 stem Asclepias viridis, one of the more easily found milkweed species in our part of the state, and it grows in very wet areas as well as in very dry areas. It's a generalist species that thrives best with well-drained but frequently wet soil. So if you're looking, that's possibly a cultivated version of a flower that you saw growing wild up on top of the hill there. But that one's also on World Peace Wetland Prairie. I'm just not sure of its source. That last butterfly there, that was the Hackberry Emperor, and that was on World Peace Wetland Prairie there. Let's say till next time. This is Aubrey Shepherd asking you part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. See ya. This is Aubrey Shepherd on May 3rd, 2012, and we've got a bunch of pictures, so let's get right to them. That's a black swallowtail. I mean, that's the common name of this black swallowtail. And you can see a bunch of black or black and blue butterflies. Many of them are swallowtails. Spicebush swallowtail looks a bit like it. Several others. And so this happens to be the one that's actually known as black swallowtail. Gave you several angles so you can identify one if you see it. And those spots look a little white on the screen. I'm looking at them, but they're mostly yellow. All right, that is the land next to the Fayetteville National Cemetery. That's wetland. At left is the trees are in the very edge riparian zone of the Tanglewood Branch. And that's Dan Lawler leading that parade. That's a bunch of people on a trail tour. Nan, for instance, many others are interested in the wildflowers and the wetland, but mostly those are folks that want to see more trail. And on the screen there, the trail is a blue line that runs over to Walker Park. Now that's just after the trail tour, and you see some of the kids who got a ride on parts of the trail, and it's a bicycle carriage. What do we call those things? A bike cab or something. Okay, you always get to see Lonicera sempervirens. I love to show it every time. And of course, this is a fresh photo from just the last couple of days. So, and there's the something I've shown a couple of weeks in a row now, and that's the did somebody fill it in? Did you fill it in yet? Okay, this is a milkweed. It's a little unusual. It's at World Peace Wetland Prairie. It's growing in a little trail that's mostly shaded, so some years I never do see it in bloom. I can't remember for sure whether it's a blunt leaf or what. That is Penstemon digitalis. Yes, digitalis, the drug, is based on that plant. Anyway, it's very beautiful. It mostly blooms in the spring. And May, 1st of May, this was maybe on the 29th of April, this was taken, I'm not sure, just in the last 4 days anyway. And they'll be gone pretty soon. And these are in the shady part of World Peace Wetland Prairie, and also there's some growing out on the open part of Pinnacle Prairie, and many, many other places. So get out and look for them and enjoy them while you can. I always want to make every photo I can of these guys when they're in bloom, and maybe share them again in winter when it's really bad. But they're an excellent. Okay, that buckeye butterfly is actually choosing not to use some of the flowers that are in bloom, but to go to one that's a native blackberry. This. Let's see, what is it? Anyway, this flower is on the wild version of a food you eat. It's asparagus, wild asparagus, and that's its flower. Hard to get a picture of those. I just happened to look down and realize, oh, that one's got flowers right now. Let's get a picture. Okay, you might call it a stink bug. It looks like one, I guess, and they're in the same family. This is probably an attack bug or an ambush bug. I didn't have time to look it up, but they're beautiful little critters. This is a lot I've seen I mean, I've shown you many times in the last year or so, and I call it the natural rain garden at MLK and East Avenue. And you can see that red dirt's being spilled there, and construction will be starting. And they've dug out a lot of the black dirt, and even at that very corner down there where the water soaked in so well and would stand during and after a rain briefly, only 50 feet from the Tanglewood Branch. Looks like they're going to bury it. They're certainly using it for a parking area for their heavy machinery. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We try to get a little of each every week. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green.